presenter, thank you, Brianna, is from Missing Link Meats, Abraham Jindrich. Is that how you say it? Jindrich. Okay, welcome.
I think you're holding it backwards.
That's why.
There you go.
Sweet. Good evening, everybody. My name is Abraham Jindrich. As I mentioned, I'm here to pitch to you Missing Link Meats. So recently, I was helping a friend break down a hog on his farm down the pit route, and he remarked to me that he had tons of customers who called him wanting to buy a couple chops for the dinner table, but couldn't because of the way meat is sold between farmers and consumers here in Montana, direct from farms. This was interesting to me, so I took it upon myself to do some research, and I called around Missoula to every grocery store, meat counter, and butcher shop that I could think of, and much to my surprise, Missoula does not currently have a local product dedicated whole animal butcher shop serving it. And that, to me, is a problem with the food market here. That problem lies in the fact that the link between local producers who produce meat around here and consumers who want to eat it is broken. People can't get it unless they buy direct. From a consumer standpoint, buying direct is difficult because you have to buy in a whole or half animal format, and freezer space becomes a huge issue. If you don't have a big freezer, you can't store it. Also, a lump sum purchase like that can amount to several $100s is sort of hard to swallow. And a lot of people don't know what to do with sort of the offcuts. I don't want to call them that out of disrespect, but they're the ones that you're not used to cooking, like a pork chop. For farmers, you're passing up potentially loyal customers who would love to buy your product, but can't because of the aforementioned issues that I talked about. So what's the solution? Well, Missing Link Meats would be that solution. It will be a neighborhood butcher shop, whole animal butcher shop, providing fresh, handcrafted cuts of meat strictly from animals that are pasture raised on local, sustainable family farms and ranches. How's it all going to work? Well, we're going to have a set of criteria that we use to select farmers. And the most important of those are going to be their locality. So we want to keep them within 100 miles of Missoula. We want our farmers to pledge not to use GMO feeds, not to use antibiotics, not to use growth hormones, and we want them to use sustainable agricultural practices. We also want them, like Connie is, open to open gate policy, so we can keep the relationship between butcher, consumer, and farmer as transparent as possible. Once we've selected these farms, we will purchase their whole animals. They will be harvested at a state-inspected facility. They will be transported to our shop here in Missoula, where they'll be dry aged, and then they'll be handcrafted into the cuts that you and I can recognize on the table. And we're going to use a snout-to-tail philosophy at the shop with as little waste as possible. So how will we succeed? Based on my research, which was calling around, there's an empty niche in the market, and we're going to fill that niche. So if you've paid attention to the growth of the farmers markets, the locavore movement, or just the general desire of people around here to know their farmer, to know where their food comes from, and people who care about their food, we're going to capture that market. And the quality of our product and the fact that it's local is going to draw them to us. So how will we benefit the community? Well, by supporting local farmers and bringing their product to Missoulians while supporting farmers who use sustainable agricultural practices, we can reforge the link between local meat producers and local meat eaters while taking care of the land and hopefully keeping more of it in production. So who am I and why would I get involved in this? Why am I passionate about it? Well, that was one of my pigs. For 2 years, I raised my own hogs from piglet to slaughter. Slaughtered them, butchered them, sold them. And this experience really allowed me to redevelop my relationship with my meat eating. And I came to believe after these 2 years that the quality of life of the animals that we raise for meat is the quality of our meat and therefore our food. And it should be our paramount concern when it comes to meat eating. And for me, this project will be a chance to make a positive change that I think the meat industry frankly needs right now. So in that vein, I took a hog butchering class from the Portland Meat Collective's Camus Davis, and those are the skills I've been using to butcher hogs and other animals ever since, and I continue to and hope to keep that up. So the timeline for our business. Currently, we're in our infancy. We're working on our business plan. We're purchasing equipment. We're working on logo and branding. I'm seeking out usually a 1 to 3 month intensive butcher apprenticeship so that I can work in an immersive environment in a business that does that to expand my skills. Short term, I want to see the business open no later than next spring, hopefully this fall, optimistically. Long term, we just want to expand the business into charcuterie, which is dry cured meats, like you were eating the salamis and stuff like that, smoked meats and cold cuts and the like. In closing, I just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank CFAC, all you guys. It's been great for letting us do our pitches. And this is just something I'm really excited about. I want to make a positive change in the meat industry, especially here in Missoula, and this is my chance. So thanks for having me.